What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We're in the building. It's Take Your Pick'em. We are one day away from Saturday, and that means we're going to close this week out with a bang for you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to do this content for you day in and day out. And so I am ready to get this thing started. I am fired up today. I like this slate. I like the options we have. I think we have some good opportunities for some massive profit today. Once again, thank you for joining us. If you're a longtime listener, first-time caller, that's a joke. But we are starting this thing off with words of wisdom. And this one is coming from one of the boxing legends. And I think I'm going to go a two for today. I found two that I really like. And this is one from a boxing legend. This is Muhammad Ali. Now, listen to what he says here, because I think this is an incredible statement from Muhammad Ali. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. And so for those of you that are in the sports, have played sports all across this great country, one of the things you know, man, is if you're going to be great, you've got to put the work in to be successful. You've got to put the time in. You've got to earn it. And so I think what Muhammad Ali is saying here is, look, sometimes the training, sometimes the grind isn't going to feel good. But in the end, if you put in the time, the success will come. And so I love that from Muhammad Ali. And then this one I got off Twitter. This is from one of the great guys in the industry. I'm not sure if you guys know him. It's Coach. Listen, Coach is winning money all the time. Coach is always winning. And this is something I found on his Twitter timeline. I told him, I said, look, man, Coach, this might be one of the greatest quotes for anyone that actually plays sports. I said, man, I got to use that on the show. Listen to this. It said, losers assemble in small groups and complain about the coaches and other players. Winners assemble as a team and find ways to win. And I'm all about the team. Look, I've always said this with the pick'em sites. It's us against the pick'em sites. This is a traditional DFS where the first place is going to get 20,000, second place 8,000. I know they've cut the payouts. Listen, folks, if we band together, if we all are putting together winners, we are going to be so much more successful. I don't have to be the smartest man in the room. You don't have to be the smartest man in the room. Let's use our intellect. Yes, let's use our processes, and put together quality winners every single day. I am pumped up today. I'm going to say this in the middle of the show. We won't have a show on Monday. My daughter is graduating from kindergarten. I will not be here, folks. Always spend time with your family. All right, we're going to kick this thing off. One of the top plays on the board today, in my opinion, is going to be Zach Gallen, 1.5 walks. And, I'm going to pull up my screen share here shortly. Got the clicker going, facing the Pittsburgh Pirates today. And I think this is going to be a really, really, really good spot for him. Zach Gallen is a guy on the season that has not walked a ton of bats. I know he had some struggles in his last particular matchup, and by struggles, I mean just two. He only had 2 walks. But Zach Gallen, look at the Pittsburgh Pirates line. So first of all, one of the things I like about Zach Gallen this season, man, it's incredible. 2.69 xFIP. ERA is intact, has not been giving up a lot of runs, has not been walking a lot of bats, 3.7% K rate. 3.7% walk rate on the season, 31.5% strikeout rate. And he's done that to both sides of the plate, 31% to righties, 32% to lefties, walking righties 4.2%, and walking lefties 3.1%. And as we can see in this lineup, we've got McCutchen, who has a walk rate of 13.8%. We've got Santana at 12.6% in terms of a walk rate. And then we've got Sawinski at 16%. Outside of that, we don't have a lot of walks. And the strikeout rates are starting to pick up for Zach Gallen as well. So I really like this particular play for Zach Gallen here. Once again, 1.5 walks. We want less than that projection across the industry. I think Zach Gallen may even be able to get through 7 innings today if things go well. He's been pitching phenomenally this season. I'm going to backtrack here a little bit because I don't ever want to overlook this, man. We want to be accountable on this show. And so on the season, so far, we are at 32, or on this month, rather, 32 plays correct, 28 plays incorrect. And yesterday, we got the reverse sweep. I did not pick any winners. Mountcastle, 1.5 total bases. Took an L there. Barrios under fantasy points. Took an L there. Cortez, 16.5 pitching outs. Took an L there as well. It was a rough day. But guess what, folks? Don't worry about that. My mind is always pushing forward. We got a sweep earlier this week. The mind pushes forward. All right, wanted to put that out there. Wanted to make sure we stay accountable on this particular show. This is going to be a play that I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to include it in the official tally, but I still think you can get involved with it. It's also the Zach Gallen. So the official play for this one is Zach Gallen at 1.5 walks. We want less than that projection, okay? However, at 6.5 strikeouts, I do think that that's an opportunity for profitability as well. We see here that the strikeout rates from the Pittsburgh Pirates are picking up 22% for McCutchen, 21% for Reynolds, 32% for Sawinski, 24% for Bays, 33% for Palacios, 27% for Austin Hedges. So I do think it picks up. I don't think that I don't think he's going to struggle in this matchup. And I'm very interested to see what his MLB live prop comes out at, or pick'em play comes out at. It's probably going to be 3.5 for the first 3 innings would be my guess, and I'd probably be inclined to side with more than that. Not more. I'd probably be inclined to just fade the live and stick with full game for Zach Gallen, who is 6.5 across the industry. Vivid, Underdog, PrizePicks. Most sites have him at 6.5 right now. So if you like that particular play alongside the 1.5 walks, less than 1.5 walks, more than 6.5 strikeouts, I think we're good. Kit Cloud Kicker, what's up, my brother? Good to see you, Mr. Wade. Absolutely. Ali, man, one of the greatest, will live forever in terms of everything he's done for this great country. So moving right along to our next one. This one is going to be fairly interesting today. I think, I saw that he pitched. He had 87 pitches in his last game. And one of the things that I've been looking at, I think the San Diego Padres carry a lot of name value, but the strikeouts are still baked into this lineup. So we've got a fair amount of names here: Tatis, Bogart, Soto, Nelson Cruz, all of these guys. However, when I look at it, the strikeouts are there. And what was alarming to me, this was incredible, folks. Juan Soto this season is striking out at has a 31% K rate this season. The left-handed pitchers, is 61 plate appearances. Juan Soto, typically a guy that does not strike out, but against lefties has really been struggling this season. This is incredible. We've got James Paxton, who has been an ace in his own right back in the day. Okay, ace in his own right back in the day, has always been a strikeout guy, but is going through a long period of serious injuries. Well, came out the first start. At 87 pitches, I was very encouraged to see that. And so at 5.5, I think if he had a body of work over this season, I don't think he'd be at 5.5 today. I think he'd be 6 to 6.5. At 5.5, I think we're getting a little discount here. I'm going to be inclined to take more. He's at 5.5 strikeouts across the industry. I want more than that projection. Now, this is just one start, okay? 45% K rate, 2.58 xFIP, 5% walk rate. I can assure you right now that James Paxton is not going to sit at a 45% K rate, but if he's anything close to what he was, I think he's around 26, 27 by the season end, if he can complete a healthy season and keep the strikeout stuff. So that's what we have here. He's only had one start. Obviously, he's going to be fastball, but look, still pretty high velocity, which is something that's encouraging to me. We're going to look here, a tick over 96 miles an hour, and then we've got contact rates here. Tatis, very limited batted ball events, but 50%, 77% for Xander, 70% for Juan Soto, 66% for Cruz. Cronenworth is looking good, but he's a lefty there, 93% contact rate, 81% for Ha-Seong Kim, 60% for Austin Nola, 81% for Rougned Odor, and Adam Engel is at 81%. So I'm not really worried about it. I think he'll get Odor. I know Odor's sitting at 10%. And Ingles had very limited. These guys have had very limited plate appearances in terms of lefties. But if Paxton is anything close, I think we pounce on this today. If he comes in today and does a fantastic job against the Padres, if he gets a marginal team the next start, he's going to be inflated to 6 to 6.5, in my opinion, on the pick'em sites. So I want to get in this one early, especially since we saw him go 87 pitches in his last start. That has me very encouraged. I think he'll sit around that same range. I don't think he's going to like 100 or anything like that, but I think around 90 pitches, if he's pitching well, I think we get him there, and I think he can get the strikeout. So really like Paxton, always a guy that has had some stuff back. Please stay healthy, Mr. Paxton. We're pulling for you, and we should be good to go. All right, next up on our list, folks, this is a guy that has been pitching very well this season. This is a guy that is, I don't want to say it's shocking, but the K rate this season has been phenomenal. And that's going to be Joe Ryan, folks. We've got him at 6.5 strikeouts across the industry in most places, 6.5. And I'm inclined to go with more than that particular projection. He's got a 3.46 xFIP, 29.3% K rate on the season, and a 3.7% walk rate. And folks, I don't know if you watched the game on yesterday. I was watching the Angels play Baltimore, and they had a guy that his projection was at 5.5. He cleared 6, but he's not anything near the caliber of pitcher that we're going to see from Joe Ryan. So Joe Ryan today, 6.5 strikeouts. I think more than that projection is fantastic. We've got Wade at 22%. Mike Trout may hit one out of the park, but I think he gets Trout at least once in this spot. I think he gets him at least once at a 26.2% K rate. I think he gets him. I think he can get Ohtani at least once. And then as we get to the bottom, Drury, Tice, I think he gets those guys as well. Drury, he may even get twice. But the bottom line is, I think there are enough strikeouts here that he'll be able to go past this projection. As we go to the bottom of the order, we've got Urshela, Rengifo, and Neto. They don't strike out a ton, but one of my philosophies that I live by with pitchers that have the stuff, low strikeout does not mean no strikeout. And so while I understand Urshela, Rengifo, Neto, those guys have slightly lower K rates than most of this lineup, that does not mean they won't strike out today. This is a guy that's been pitching very well. And when guys are getting strikeouts, to me, that means that they've got good command. They're pitching with good location. And so in that particular scenario, I think Joe Ryan goes over here. And we're going to go down and look at his pitch mix. Mostly fastball, mostly splitter. Splitter is going to be the out pitch. And when we pull up the splitter, folks, here we go. Look at these contact numbers. And if you're driving, I'm going to call them out. This is another reason why I like Joe Ryan today. Joe Ryan and Kevin Gausman, these are two guys I've been with a lot of the season. Guys that throw fastball splitter, man, they've been strikeout machines. Just look at Kevin Gausman. We talked about him earlier this week with a projection of 6.5. Got a bump down because he was facing the Yankees. Yankees don't hit the splitter well. They don't see it as much. Same thing here for the Los Angeles for the Angels, 61% contact rate for Ward, 46% for Trout, 54% for Ohtani, 73% for Renfroe, 58% for Drury, 57% for Ty, 75% for Gio Urshela, who's typically a high contact guy, 52% for Rengifo, 66% for Neto. Listen to me, folks. The fastball splitter combination, when guys are getting rolling, it is very hard to hit at the plate. I think we see Joe Ryan pitch masterfully today against the Anaheim Angels out there in California, where the sun is shining brightly. And listen, folks, when the sun is shining brightly, you need to go visit our friends at Shady Rays. Kick off the new year, built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and much more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair you've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by the lost and broken replacements policy. If you lose or break your pair on day one, they told us they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. With Shady Rays, you can look good and feel good. And to date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. If you don't love your pair of Shady Rays, exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back. And exclusively for those of you that are listening or hanging out with Take Your Pick'em, you can go to shadyrays.com. Use the code RotoGrinders and get 50% off not one, but 2 pair of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. All right, folks, we're going to close it out. Our last investment of the day, we're going to the San Francisco game, and we're going to be looking at none other than Mr. Sandy Alcantara. Folks, Sandy is sitting at 6.5 strikeouts today across the industry. Vivid, Underdog, PrizePicks, you name it. 22.9% K rate on the season, 6.5 walk rate, 4.13 xFIP. But these K rates for the San Francisco Giants are astronomical. 23% for Estrada, 24% for J.D. Davis, 23% for Conforto, 34% for Haniger, which is a shocker, 27% for Yaz, 19% for Schmidt, 35% for Sable, 30% for Bart, 16% for Wade at the top. Listen, folks, I think Sandy has a day here. Full disclosure, Sandy does not pitch as well on the road along with most of the Miami pitching staff, but I think these K rates are too high to ignore today. If Sandy can just get rolling, keep the ball on the ground in the tough spots, and pick up the Ks while they're available, I think Sandy has enough leash. If he's pitching well, we've seen Sandy go 7 innings, go 8 innings. And I think if he does that, he's going to have an opportunity to really hammer this team in the strikeout department today. So a quick recap of the plays, and we'll close it out. So we've got Zach Gallen, 1.5 walks. We want less than that projection. Joe Ryan, 6.5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. James Paxton, 5.5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. Sandy Alcantara, 6.5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. Folks, don't forget, I won't be here on Monday. My daughter's graduating from kindergarten. Going to go hang out with her. Have a great time. I'll see you back here on Tuesday. Thanks for joining Take Your Pick'em. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. Once again, I'll see you back here on Tuesday.